Hi, this is David with entry number 902 here, walking back from Harbourfront in Singapore. It is pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie, at the moment it's pretty hot. Luckily I'm in the shade, so it's not so bad. But yeah, it's pretty hot today. I saw Batman vs Superman today, and I thought I'd talk about that for today's entry. It was pretty good. I think on the film review aggregation site, it has like a 29%, which is really bad, but the movie was not a 29%. I don't care who says otherwise. It was not terrible. I think Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, or whatever the full title was, it does have issues. I don't think any of the characters were really developed very well, including the title characters. It didn't suffer from feeling like a lead up too much, like I thought it was. That's what a lot of these kind of movies feel like to me. Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was awful. It was just. It was probably about. I would give it a B minus if I had to give it a letter grade. I think the effects were all really good. It was pretty fun to watch the Batman Superman fight. That was pretty awesome. There wasn't like any big surprises, I felt, and it wasn't like overly graphic or whatever, but it really wasn't in danger of ever being that way. I thought it was pretty brutal at some points, but at no point was it like gross or like really harsh. I mean, there were a couple scenes where people were obviously killed, but it didn't really show anyone die directly. Like, it didn't show someone's head getting popped or bodies being split in two with viscera spilling all over the ground. It was just like pretty basic. So it was violent, but it wasn't over the top or anything. I really liked. I'm becoming more and more aware of certain issues in film and TV that kind of strike a chord with me. And in the first Superman film, Man of Steel, that came out a little while ago, I think the most kind of emotional and best part of the film for me was the scene where you had Clark, or Superman, and his father kind of have arguments over his power set and like how he should use his power. And then towards the middle of the film, you see how his father died, and the scene where his father, tells him there's like a big tornado and his dad goes to save their dog, and then the tornado is like right on him, and Clark is like underneath the little overpass, and he's real ready to go save his dad, do super speed and grab him, but he doesn't, because his dad tells him, don't save me, it's okay. And that scene in particular was very emotional for me. And in this film, it does harken back to that scene as well a couple times, and it also is a little bit heavy-handed with Batman, or Bruce Wayne's parting with his parents as well. If you don't know, it's pretty popularized now, but both of his parents were shot to death in front of him when he was a young child. So yeah, those scenes I'm becoming more and more kind of aware of how impactful they are. And basically what gets me is that whenever they happen on screen, I just think about mostly how being away from my family at this point feels a little bit silly, because like when your parents are gone, like the characters are, you look back and you think about all this time that I've spent away from my family. Is that really a smart thing? Shouldn't I be like trying to savor every minute, every second I have with them? And I think a lot of ways, and especially the way I'm wired, the answer is yes. But I know that both my parents are wanting me to kind of spread my wings and figure my own life out over here. So, that's something I think I respect and I want to try and do. So, the film, going back to Batman vs Superman, it was very good, and I wouldn't say there was any parts that were dumb or stupid. It was pretty cool. I think the weakest character, which the one thing I agree with the reviews, the weakest character was definitely Lex Luthor, who was portrayed as kind of a eccentric buffoon. I would prefer him to be more of, like that kind of suave sociopath. But, you can't get everything. I think it was a pretty good movie. Like I said, a B-. It just was a little bit kind of disjointed in a couple parts. But other than that, it was good. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about Batman vs Superman. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.